Hello yogis. So happy fall. So I'm a day late on this blog this week, I admit, because I myself am going through a time of change. It's a time of change for a lot of us right now, with the season changing, with the schedule changing. A lot of us have changes in work or school, and I know it always stirs me up a little bit. The weather as well. So I thought I'd talk a little bit today about times of change and how you can deal with that on and off your mat. So really the only thing constant in life is change, as we all know. And we need to find a way to really go with the flow, not just go back to our old habits, go back to the past. So how do we go about doing that? Well, we'll start with a few poses and some breathing, and then talk about how we can take it off the mat. So let's start in child's pose. So just lying down, arms stretched out. I'm going to be breathing deep, inhaling a few breaths, stretching out those arms, exhaling, breathing deep, just breathing, connecting to your Ujjayi breath, so in the nose and out the nose. And as always, just noticing the thoughts that may come up, the good, the bad, where your mind is, and if it's going through whatever that transition is, notice that as well, whatever that big transition is in your life right now. And then on the next breath, just bring yourself up to all fours and do a few shakes of the head, the yes, the no. And then let's inhale for a few cat and cows. Cow pose and cat. Cow and cat. And then one more. And cat. And then let's inhale that cow and just hold for a few breaths. And notice right away, whenever you start to hold a pose, there's a little bit of discomfort. You start to think, okay, this is a weird way to arch my spine. Chest feels open, you're probably noticing some shoulder tension. Just notice and keep breathing. One more breath and exhale into cat. And now we'll hold this for a few breaths. So noticing once again any tension in that spine, in the neck, whatever it may be. Notice and see if you can breathe through it. Because your tendency is, I want to get out of the pose. I want to run away. And breathing. And then finally release that spine, shake it all out. And we'll come into down dog. And again, down dog is a great pose for being present. So you'll notice, is your weight back in your hips? Are your wrists tensing? Are your fingers scrunching? How are your legs? You can bend those knees. And you'll notice things. You'll notice something that's tense, something that's still waking up, whatever it may be. Notice it and then release. And now let's look between the hands and exhale. Halfway lift and forward fold. And then let's roll it up to standing. So when you have to hold poses in yoga, and I find the slower moving, such as the Hatha yoga, the slower pace, can be a lot more difficult for us. So when you're going through a time of change, see how difficult it is to hold those poses. See if it's really causing you some pain, your thoughts, what's going on in your body. Notice that and see if you can breathe through it. And if you can't, notice why. Maybe it's time for a break. Maybe you need a child's pose. Maybe you need a day off in life. And then notice why you have the tendency to run away, why you don't want to hold the pose. Breathing through it is really the only way, because we tend to want to run away from change, but sometimes we have to stick with it and just see that maybe it's not as bad as we think. I hope this helps. If you have any comments, please leave below. Until next week, namaste.